Hey, my YouTube friends, and welcome to my channel, Living Life with Mama. I'm Mama. In today's video, I will be going over what my 2025 year goals are and some new changes to my budgeting. First, let's go ahead and go over this. It has been quite some time. I kind of fell off the track of posting. I did not plan on it, to be honest with you. My daughter got sick with the flu. I know that some people have been getting sick with pneumonia, and that is just horrible to have to deal with. But on top of my daughter getting the flu, there's just lots of to-do lists. I also decided to do my tomato project where I took all the tomatoes out of my freezer that I grew during the summer and turned it into several different types of tomato products, and then I canned the items and have them on my shelf. On top of that, because my daughter was sick with the flu, I was really focused on taking care of her and taking care of our house and just a whole lot of things. I also couldn't really just leave the house very much because I didn't know if I was infected. So I felt that there was really no need to do like a cash stuffing when I couldn't go to the bank. I guess I could, but I just didn't want to take the risk of infecting anybody if I was going to get sick because she was contagious. But anyways, that gave me a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do. My goal is to hit the ground running, to focus on paying off debt and focus on saving and focus on tracking better. If you've been following my channel for quite some time, you know that I used to write all of my budgeting with pencil. I would have like 4 or 5, 6 pages, and I had a new one every paycheck. And then I was like, I hate doing that. It wasted so much ink, all of this and everything. So I kind of reconfigured my budget, and then I laminated the sheets. I did it up until the end of the year. But then looking back, I really had no way to look at how I did. I know I did not do very well. I do have money in savings, but nowhere near the way I would want it. I have an idea of where my money went, but I have no record of it other than my calendars. So I'm like, okay, I like the laminated. I like being able to have that to not waste paper. But then in the long run, to kind of look back in the year to see how well I did, how much I saved, all of this kind of stuff. Like, I don't have that information. I also looked at my goals and what I wanted to do, and I wanted to break those down month by month. Now, after I'd finished doing this, I realized my income is like here. My goals that I want to meet is like here. But I am going to try to save and hit as many goals as I can. My plan is to be better, not to be perfect. I have gotten better since before my daughter was born. Obviously, I've grown since then. But I've kind of been in this standstill, and then I kind of dip down and I go back to where I was at. And then I dip down and then I go back to where I was at. Because I go into these like little shopping frenzies. They're not really shopping sprees. They're shopping frenzies where like delayed gratification is not good enough for me. And I need to change my mindset. And I need to do better. So with that, let's go ahead and go over this. So this is sharing my goals and my new budget planner update for the following year. So of course you guys have seen this, but it is way thicker than it was last year. So I'm pretty proud of this. I ran out of ink, and thankfully I ran out of ink on the last item that I was printing off, and I was able to get 6 months worth of those pages. So this year, these things are up front because of the way that I set it up. So these are my Build Bank amounts. This is what I take to the bank to tell the bank teller what I want for the amount that I'm asking for. I made them really nice and big. I've made them myself. I did have little ones, and I've seen other people use little ones, but with the type of marker that I use, there's a lot of times where it would be so sloppy that you couldn't really read it. And I'm like, I don't like that. So I rather give this to them than a little tiny one. Okay. So this is my monthly bills along with my credit cards. Now, in the past, I will write what I paid here and then take these and stick them on the month that I paid them for. I don't know if I'll continue to do that because of the way that I have it set up, but this is just more for my records of knowing what my bills are. I believe this has changed. It looks like it's already changed, so I need to look into that. Nothing else has changed. So this is what I filled out with everything that I'm pulling out with cash, and then figure out what I need, then transfer them to this. So that's kind of what that is for if you've never seen that before. It is really awesome to be able to figure out like what you need of each, so you're not guessing at the bank or even guessing sitting here. Okay, so this is a lot. So this is my 2025 goals. Okay, so it's a lot. The first thing is I want to get a year ahead on my yearly savings. So this means like things that I need to save up for every year. It's not just a one-time thing. So savings for birthdays, Christmases, special dinners, holidays, stuff like that. Special dinners would be like my daughter's birthday dinner, my birthday dinner, Mother's Day dinner. That's us like going out to eat kind of stuff. And then holiday dinners like Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving dinner, stuff like that. And I have 3 friends, and 2 of my friends have a dog that we love. And so we have 4 birthdays that I want to save up for every year, and then my daughter's birthday. And then I don't have to save up for my birthday because my best friend, their husband and wife, they pay for my birthday presents when they take my daughter out to buy presents. Not just birthday, but birthday, Christmas, and Mother's Day. But anyways, that is what I mean for a year ahead. So this year is going to be hitting hard. As you will see, I will have savings amounts for this year and for 2026. And as we get closer to the end of 2025, those 2025 savings will slowly fall off because that time has ended. But then when I get to the end of year 2025, my hope is that I already have the full year's worth of 2026 savings for each of those categories saved up, or at least close to it. That at least was my intention at first. And then as I got to the end of the year, because I wrote down the small goals on every month, and you'll see that in a minute, I realized that I calculated too many months. So let's say my daughter's birthday is in May. And so I calculated 1 year's worth plus 5 months into 2026, or however months it was into 2026 to be able to have that. So I don't think I will actually hit all of my goals for the year 2026 by the end of 2025. But I will figure that out at the end of 2025. So at least I'm saving. So that is what I mean by get a year ahead of the year's savings. I'm going to talk about my debt in another video, but one of my goals this year is to pay off all of my debt, all of it. My other one is to close all of my credit cards except for Capital One. The only reason why I do not want to close my Capital One card is because I have my high yield savings accounts in Capital One. I want to save $1,000 in emergency. I think I've talked to this about a couple times, and my daughter has an opportunity to be able to do this huge school trip. Now, we're not able to do the one that's in 2026, but the teacher said that there will be an opportunity to go in 2027, which the opportunity will be given to her when she goes into 8th grade, which is August of 2025. So I would like to have $1,000 saved up and at least close to that by the time the offer comes around, so I'm able to pay some of the trip. My goal, not financially wise this time, or for these two, but my goal is to hit 400 YouTuber subscribers by the end of 2025. I ended up with 196. So I was really close to the 200 subscriber goal, but that's okay because my first goal was, I believe, like 50 or 100 before the end of the year, and I surpassed that. So the 200 subscribers was an additional goal to what I had set before. So as long as I continue to post videos, I think I will hit that 400 subscribers. If I had continued to post videos in December, I think I probably would have hit that 200 subscribers. 200 new videos. So this is number 1 of 2025. I calculated that I think the most videos that I can probably post on top of everything that else that I have to take care of in my life, I can do 12 videos a month. That gets me at like 144. So I don't know if I'll hit that or not. Maybe during the summer I will add more videos because I'll be gardening. I don't know. I haven't figured all that out yet, but that is my goal. So I need to figure that out. I would like to be able to save $1,000 towards my house funds. I would like to set up my basement as a pantry for all of the canning that I plan on doing in the future. Not budgeting wise, but gardening goals. I have a couple of them, and my goal is to grow more of the food that we use. I would like to be able to turn my basement into a pantry. This may be a 2026 thing, but the ultimate goal is to at least have $1,000 for the shelving. Another goal is to set up a new kitchen area. I was able to do step 1 the other day, and that was to get rid of the piano that was taking up so much space. My landlord approved of me getting rid of it for free, and now we have a lot of space, what is considered like our dining room. It's right off our kitchen. We don't use a dining room table. It's just my daughter and I, and when we do eat, we just sit on the couch because there's not a whole lot of space. Our kitchen, dining room, living room is very compact with each other, and so the dining room table that we have was just a catch-for-all, and it wasn't being used other than it just getting lots of things put on it. So eventually that will go downstairs. Right now that table has been moved to where the piano was, and that's at least opened up some space because I am nowhere near of getting shelving. One of the other things that I want to do is figure out a new setup for my living room, and I would love to have a fireplace set up for that. I do want to get a new projector for Christmas for myself. The projector that we have right now is really old. It's supposed to hook up to like my computer or my laptop, but for whatever reason it's not. The new projector that we have picked out, it will connect to my computer and to where we can like watch other things than just DVD. I really do want a KitchenAid mixer. I think this KitchenAid mixer will definitely help with my garden and kitchen type goals or homesteading goals. There's a lot of KitchenAid attachments that I can attach to the KitchenAid that I just have to use the KitchenAid and then have all these attachments to it. That will open a big door for me on things that I want to do of learning to cook from scratch. Another thing that I want to get is an ice cream maker. My daughter's ice cream is really expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. And so I saw I think it's the KitchenAid ice cream maker or something. It's a name brand one. And the YouTuber that I was watching that made ice cream, she actually used almond milk or silk milk or something like that. She used a different type of milk than regular cow's milk. So that's the main thing because my daughter loves ice cream. But to get like a 3-4 pack like popsicles that's dairy free and gluten free, it's like $6. Maybe 4, maybe like 5, but it's only like 3 or 4 of them, and she goes through them so fast. All right, my other goal, I was kind of hoping to be able to actually buy a half cow or a quarter cow in the year of 2025, but it just did not happen that way because of other goals. So hopefully I'll have 1,000 saved up by the end of 2025 and be able to buy a quarter or a half of a cow in the year of 2026. Another thing that I want to shoot for is to at least have 1 month's worth of money saved for my bills. I would like to be able to be a month ahead on all of my bills, that like let's say I'm budgeting in January, but it's for February bills. That is what I would hope to be able to do eventually. The other thing that I need to be able to save up is $1,000 for testing. I am pulling a little bit of a loan, which I will talk about that in my debt payoff a little bit, because I didn't work for 2 weeks straight. My paycheck for January 15th is going to be extremely low. It's only going to have 5 days on there. The last paycheck that I got of 2024 was less than I thought. To be able to get through this season of life and to be able to plan ahead for the summer that I'm not working, I have been taking a little bit of loan out to be able to sustain for that. Now, I do plan on getting a part-time job after summer school for those 2 months, but it's not guaranteed. Also, I have to be a teacher assistant for a couple months, so I would like to be able to put some money towards that. The school that I go to is online school, and if I want to walk the stage per se, I have to go to where they're having it. So I may have to pay for travel expenses. And so I want to save up for graduation. And then I would like to be able to have a graduation party. These are just my goals that I want for this year. That doesn't mean that's my ultimate goal. It's just that's probably what I can do, or that's my hopes and dreams of getting 1,000 of each and then 500 for the graduation. And then I also want to save up for the garden. I want to save up all year for 2025 so that in 2026 I can do a little bit better of a garden, or if something happens, I have money for a new garden in a new home if that were to happen. I also want to save some money for our tornado shelter area. There's just a few things that I just want to get. Last year, 2024, we had to take shelter, I think like 4 or 5 times. And then now we have an additional cat, and she likes to hide, and I want to just put things into place to be able to have a better tornado shelter area. There are 2 things that I would love to be able to save for, and it's HBO Max, because they are coming out with the TV show of Harry Potter. I really hope I don't regret getting HBO Max. Of course, like, they're not using the same actors, and I really hope that they do really well with this. They said it was for a decade long, so hopefully we'll be able to figure that out. And then save up for Grammarly Pro. I can get Grammarly Pro through the school system, but that's for school only. So I would like to be able to have my own Grammarly Pro for YouTube and stuff. I did not do very good on this, so I just took it out and I'm going to start fresh. I have one for the bank, Capital One, Target, Sam's Club, Kohl's, and Care Credit of my expense tracker. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every single month. I'm just going to kind of go through, I'll probably just do January because they're all the same. Every single month has the goals. Okay, now as you get lower into the year, so like here, this is a lot, and then you get to December, and there's not a whole lot. You cannot read this. It's very sloppy. There was a lot, so I was like, oh, I gotta write small, when I could have probably written a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. So I have my daughter's birthday for this year and for next year. And they are really high amounts until you start getting kind of like towards the end of the year. So like Christmas presents for this year is $20, but Christmas presents for 2026 is $12. So it does get smaller. And this is the amount of it if I were to just take like all of the child support for January, which is probably not going to happen because of income and stuff like that. I know that I can take this amount and be able to save all of these amounts and for the whole month, and I'll be good to go. If I were to have an extra $1,260 for the month, then I know I can cover all of those, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to do the very most important, or be able to do as close to all of this as I possibly can. Okay, so every month has a calendar, and they are nice and clean and fresh. One of my next videos will be me setting this up. So this will have like my paydays and when my bills are due and all of that kind of stuff. Now, the thing is when I got paid December 30th, that paycheck paid for the rest of rent and then is paying for all of the bills up until the 14th. So I'm like half of a month ahead already. So you will see in the next video me setting this up. Okay, so this is what is new. This is my monthly expenses tracker. So one of the YouTubers that I follow, she does this, and it's very basic. She tracks all of her income throughout the entire month. And then she tracks all of her bills throughout the entire month. And this isn't more of saying like, okay, that got paid. Her goal is to see if it goes up throughout the year, or even like her water and gas and electric, like when do you have higher months, when do you have lower months, to kind of see a trend so that you are able to plan for the next year, maybe some goals or whatever. My irregular bills, this is normally like when I make payments to my credit cards. This is also anything that I normally don't have. So when I purchased my Advent book box, that is not a normal like cash envelope that I would have. So that would go here. Also, side note, that was a scam. Just to let you know. The company that I bought it from, not the book Advent calendar. I did not get it. Still have not received it. Found out that it was a scam. They've returned the money back to me. Thank the Lord. But there is a company out there that does it, so I have put my name on the list of being able to get it for next year. I have no clue how much this is, and I will figure that out later in the year. Anyways, card swipes. This is one of the things that I struggle with the most, is that I'm like, oh, I will just swipe my card, $10, $20, $30, and I'm dipping into my rent. And then the next paycheck, I'm like, oh, I have a little bit of wiggle room. I can just use some of that money to replace what I spend through my rent. Yeah, I need to stop doing that. That is like one of the worst things that I am doing. So I want to keep track of this, of what I do. Now, one of the YouTubers that I watch, if she uses her card, she will take the money out of her cash envelopes and replace it. She doesn't use her next paycheck to do that. The difference with me is that I'm having a hard time trying to put money into my cash envelopes to even be able to do that. But I don't want to make that a habit. So that's another one of like my goals, is that I don't do that. If I don't have the money in cash, I don't have it and I can't pay for it. I need to stop going on these shopping frenzies. I go on these, not really like, oh my gosh, I need to go shopping. It's like when I'm already at the store. Target is the worst for me, and especially during the holiday season. This past holiday season was really bad for me, where I got new ornaments, I got new garland, I don't know where this came from, but for whatever reason, I felt that I needed these things, and I spent money, and it was really hard. And I don't regret it, but I do regret it because I didn't have the money to pay for it. In some sense, I did, but I used rent, if that makes sense. So I want to be able to keep track of that, and know that like, okay, I need to stop doing this, or I need to make sure that I have these types of cash envelopes, or I have money in these, or whatever. So if I see a trend that happens during certain holidays, like Christmas, then I need to save up for that, if that makes sense, like for the following year. Okay, and then any unexpected charges, meaning I had something that went through that I had no clue. Now, I think I've gotten rid of a lot of these. What these are kind of is unexpected charges where I had signed up for a program to do something, and I paid for a year, had the money then, or charged it. And then the following year came and they charged my account, and I completely forgot about the program. Completely forgot, hadn't even used the program, whatever the case may be. That's why one of my goals is to save up a year's worth of Grammarly instead of just charging it on my card and then completely forgetting about it, because I want to make that into a habit. And also for HBO Max. Also, from what I've been told, is HBO Max does like a Black Friday deal for, I think it's like $1.99 or whatever, or probably not $1.99, probably like $10.99 or something like that. So I'm hoping that I can save up enough for HBO Max and then pay the discounted price and then be ahead of the game for the following year. Anyways, so that's kind of what unexpected charges are. Another unexpected charge would be like if one of my bills went up. So my car insurance and my renter's insurance went up. So that is really hard. So that to me would be an unexpected charge. Okay, now this is my budgeting. One of the things that I noticed is, even though that I had an entire sheet of, I think it was like 19 cash envelopes for me and then like 19 or 20 for my daughter and this and that, I'm not using them all. So I went down to one page. This is literally it right here. One page. Okay. Once I outgrow this, then maybe I'll go back to the original. I only have one spot for income for the one paycheck because I have one for my first paycheck, I have one for child support, and then I have one for my second paycheck. So I'm only getting paid 3 times a month. I did not see it was necessary to have more than one if I'm going to do one of these per time I get paid. I am working on getting better, not being perfect. So I feel like this will allow me to become better. So obviously, like, I have all of my bills and then what I total and then what I have left over. And then any regular bills. I thought putting irregular bills or games like here would be good for that. I have 4 or 5 cards or whatever. So obviously this isn't enough. My goal is that I'm going to pay that off really, really fast. And I'm going to explain that in my debt video. Okay. Then I moved eggs to my bi-weekly expenses. Now, I am not buying farm fresh eggs right now. Now, technically, I only buy eggs once a month, but I had been putting money to the side every paycheck. So that is why I'm putting bi-weekly. And then, of course, groceries and gas. And household expenses. So whatever ones that I will be putting money into or need to or whatever for that week, it's only using up this amount of space. I don't think I'm going to be able to do more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I think I had like 10 or 11. And I kind of looked at it, I was like, I'm not even putting money in all of these every single time I get paid. I don't make enough income for that. And then I kind of had to mix things up. I didn't want it broken up. So like I didn't want my expenses right here and then transferred over here. So this is other expenses. That is like birthday expenses, other holiday expenses, eating out, stuff like that. I won't be using a whole lot of lines for that. So anyway, so then you just keep going and going. And then down here should be at a 0. So, like I said, I have 3 each month for that. This is my new grocery list. I did not like having it separated by fruit, dairy, all of that kind of stuff. If I knew Aldi a little bit better, which I probably do, but I don't want to take the time to figure it out, I probably could make a list of literally fruits first, then bread, then chips, like stuff like that. But I was finding myself like not having enough in each category, like enough lines in each category, or I'm having to come up with another category for something else, all of that kind of stuff. I also this year want to take inventory of the most stuff that I purchase to see if there's something that I can do differently because I'm spending money on stuff that we don't need or that I can make from home or to grow. So I know for a fact that we use a lot of tomato products, which is why I grew a lot of tomatoes and I made a lot of tomato products and I made the ones that I knew we would eat. The only one that I don't think will eat a lot of, and actually to be honest that happened after the fact that I made it. I made tomato soup. And apparently my daughter doesn't like tomato soup. I don't know where that came from. I like tomato soup as long as you have a really good grilled cheese sandwich with it. So I kind of looked at it as like, okay, if she won't eat it, then at least I have something that I can heat up when she's at her grandparents. And if I don't want to cook, instead of going out to eat, I have this. So anyways, so Aldi, Target, Sam's Club, and our natural grocers are the stores that I go to for grocery shopping. Aldi is where I buy the most from. Target, Sam's Club, and then natural grocers, I'm buying like 1 or 2 items maybe. And I don't even go to natural grocers that much. So I do like this. One of the things that I noticed a lot was that I was having to mark off to the side how many I needed. Like pounds of meat, how many did I need? How many onions? How many cans of whatever? So I put quantity here to give myself a place to be able to put that. And then, of course, check mark to say that I got it. One of the first grocery lists that I had, I did have price and sale on it, and I didn't really use it. But what I've come to find out is that sometimes I'm not able to get to my phone because I will use my phone on the calculator of like adding it up and everything. But I also would love to see price increase. That what I would love to be able to do eventually is be able to know, okay, this item is this much, this item is this much. Okay, this is going to cost me about $100. So I know I'm going to stay under budget. Or if I start seeing a price increase and the quantity of the items that I am getting is going down, then I know that I need to change something or whatever. Now, eventually I will want to buy local ground beef, local pork, and local chickens. So eventually I will have a pretty short grocery list. The main thing that I know for a fact that I will continue to buy until I'm able to figure some things out is gluten-free and dairy-free items, because those are the hardest things, especially bread items like pizza crust, bread, cinnamon, anything that's bread that's gluten-free and dairy-free is very, very hard to make at home. And the ingredients to get it to the point where the way it is like to be edible, the ingredients up front is very expensive. So I know I will continue to do that. But if I know that during this month we are buying a lot of X, Y, and Z and I can grow that, then I know that I can go and spend $2 on a pack of seeds and for the next growing season to grow that item. That kind of stuff. Okay. So that is what that is in the new one. And it is paper because I want to be able to keep track of this. And it is very crazy how different of a mindset that I am, because when I started doing the laminate, I'm like, just having just the basic tracking on the calendar of like all of my bills is enough. And come to find out, it's not. All right. So I do have 2 of those. This is the one item that I only got 6 months worth, but that is okay. At least tell me if I like it or not. So this is kind of a condensed version of my budget. This is hopefully something that I'm going to be able to use to track myself of like how much I saved, what envelopes I'm putting money towards more, stuff like that. So at the beginning of the month, I'm going to put what I started off with. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to look at these and add them together of what I put into each cash envelope. And I'm going to put it here and then put what my ending balance is. Now, hopefully what my ending balance is will match the cash that I have in my cash envelopes. Now, obviously, some of this stuff is not going to match because I'm going to eventually end up using it. Now, eggs, that actually doesn't need to be there because that is not considered one of these anymore, because that is considered a bi-weekly one, because during the winter, I am not using it. But a lot of these are like things that I would save up for, and once I hit that goal, then I spend it, not something that I would spend every month. I think I put 2 in here because I think I was going to do one for every paycheck, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I do have 2 in here, which is fine. That just means I'll have one for next year. And then in the back of the book is my savings challenges. So I have been able to put some change in the penny savings challenge this past month. I did get this, which I really love. I feel like this is a way to hold my change, and then once I fill this up, then I can roll it. It was only $5 at Kohl's, so I was like, this would be kind of a fun way for me to keep track of the money. And it's also really pretty in the video. That is my new planner. I really hope this year this will work out. I do have 2 other items that is new this year. This is not new, but what's inside of it is new. So one of the things that I've been working on is these little fun filling cards. I wanted to make them laminated because I want to be able to use these over and over again. But I'm nowhere near of being able to get the laminating. So my goal is that this will go with my savings goals that I have. So for emergency, my goal is to have 1,000 by the end of the month. So every one is $42. So every time I put $42 in my emergency funds, I get to fill one in. Now that one will probably be really slow. So let's see. So the KitchenAid, I think it was like $9 per paycheck. So every time I put $9 into my kitchen item envelope, I were to fill that in, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I literally have one for every single cash envelope that I have. So this is something new that like I will have schedule times of when I am recording, editing, all of that. One of the new things that I want to start doing is actually recording us making dinner, and that is like a video that you would get in the month, later in the month, of our 2 weeks meal. I don't know if we'll actually be able to do that, but that is the hope, to be able to get some extra videos. Okay, so that is a new item for me. And then I have this. So one of my YouTubers that I watch, she bought this. And then this person is a YouTuber, Elise, I believe. So this book is also kind of what got me on this different track of how I do my savings. That she has the what kind of spender are you? Which is funny that called the perfectionist, which is kind of weird because I'm nowhere near perfect, but it is what it is. But it says here, you're a problem solver who wants to achieve perfection. This can slow you down in budgeting if your financial progress isn't always a direct path. But your attention to detail will help you stay motivated. Choose challenges with smaller saving goals so you can see quicker progress. I could see how I want it to be perfect because I want my budget to work flawless, but I know that that's impossible because I am human. I make mistakes. I make choices of the flesh type of thing. When I get in my head that I need this or my daughter needs that or whatever, that I just like, oh, let's just go and put it on a cart. So this is kind of what got me to doing the goals, is that I did the big ultimate goal of what I want, but then every month I wrote down the smaller videos. And then I'm also putting it in my head that if I don't hit every single goal of the month, which obviously I can't, I don't make an extra $2,000 because, and honestly I can't really say, but at the same time I would love to think that if I made, like I make about $2,000 a month now, if I made an extra $2,000, so a total of $4,000 a month, I don't think I would be in the hamster wheel place that I'm at right now. With that is what I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense of why I'm very disappointed in myself when I can't meet the goal, because I make my goals so high. I have my bill budget down pack. I pay all my bills. I have my budget for food. I have my budget for gas. I know what bills are going through my bank account, like all that. Like I'm very boom, 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 boom. But after that, the savings, the goals, the games, all of that, like that is all new to me, and I struggle. I am on the choo-choo struggle train. Anyways, she made this very versatile. I think that's the correct name for it. It's very fun. A lot of these are really high. A lot of these are like this one. It's just $1. That's really easy. I think I can do that. But it's, yeah, like this one's really hard. Like I'm not going to be able to do that. That's a lot of money. I probably could do this per paycheck, like $1 for one paycheck, $2 for two paychecks, stuff like that. This would probably be a more feasible savings challenge for the entire year for me, but not for an entire month. This $100, $10 per clothing, that kind of thing. Saveopoly, this is something I've always wanted to play. I think it looks fun. Yeah, so she definitely has several different types. She even has a deck game, which I am playing one right now. So I think that's fun that she did this, but this is in a different way. And also there's like an end timestamp to it. You do it 30 times. So yeah, I don't know if I will do this or not, but you can pull these out. They're perforated. What I'm probably going to do, because I want to be able to use this again and again if I want to. The YouTuber that bought it said that you could copy it. Obviously, I can't copy this and then sell it to somebody. I can't do that. But what I'm thinking of is that like I would pull it out, make a copy of it, and this is my hard copy. And the copy I actually put in my binder and fill out, and then I still have this for later on. It also has the 100 envelope challenge, which I think is fun. That is another goal that I would love to do eventually, is be able to fill in the 100 envelope challenge. But again, this year is for not being perfect, but being better. That is my goal for the ultimate goal, the umbrella goal of this year, is not perfection, but better. Or not perfect. I like perfection. Not perfection, but better. So, anyways, these are my new binders for the year 2025. You guys will see the new way that I budget come the budgeting video for January 15th. And hopefully you'll see these throughout the year. So that is it. That is my video on my 2025 goals and my budget update. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already, subscribe down below. It's completely free for you. You don't need a budget to be able to see my video. And I love that about YouTube. Yeah, so you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.